Unbelievable. Princess Leonor officially announces her engagement to Prince Christian. The palace has always been a place of tradition, order, and silence. Generations of royals raised to follow duty above all else. And yet, today, that silence is shattered. Because against every expectation, against every assumption of the crown, Princess Leonor of Spain, the future queen, has spoken the words the world never thought it would hear. She is officially engaged to Prince Christian of Denmark. But what does this announcement truly mean? Not just for her, not just for Christian, but for Spain, for Denmark, and for the very future of European royalty. From the moment of her birth, Leonor's life was scripted. She was the first female heir in centuries, raised under the careful watch of her parents, King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia. Every step of her education, every gesture in public, every word she spoke, carried the weight of a throne. To many, she seemed untouchable, too bound by responsibility to live for herself. And yet, behind palace walls, she carried a secret. That secret was Christian, the young prince of Denmark, destined himself for kingship, living under similar scrutiny, bound by the same invisible chains of expectation. Two lives on parallel tracks. Two thrones, two destinies. And somehow, two hearts that found each other. The announcement of their engagement is more than romance, it is history. Because royal engagements are never simple. They are not just vows of love, they are contracts of power, politics, and alliances. And this one raises questions so profound that entire nations are holding their breath. The story begins in whispers. Leonor and Christian first encountered each other at youth royal gatherings, their conversations brushed off as polite exchanges between heirs. But behind those moments grew a connection. A spark hidden in plain sight. While the press speculated about Leonor's future suitors, the truth was unfolding quietly. As Leonor continued her studies at UWC Atlantic College and later began her military training, she carried a weight no one could see, a growing bond with Christian. Letters passed, calls made in secrecy, rare visits disguised as official duties. Each step more daring than the last, each one binding them closer. But no secret lasts forever. And now, Leonor has spoken publicly, choosing love and revealing the truth. She is engaged. To her, it is not only a declaration of personal happiness, it is a defiant act of selfhood. She is choosing not just as a princess, but as a woman. The world reacts with shock. Spanish media erupts in headlines. Denmark celebrates cautiously. Across the UK and the US, fascination soars. Commentators call it the love story of the decade. Critics, however, raise alarms. Can the future Queen of Spain bind her life to another throne without consequences? Will this engagement blur lines of sovereignty? And what about the families, how do they feel about this decision? Inside the palace, tension brews. Queen Letizia, fiercely protective, is said to have both pride and fear. Pride that her daughter has chosen courage. Fear of the storm it may unleash. King Felipe, balancing fatherhood with kingship, reportedly weighs every word, knowing this engagement could shape the monarchy he will one day leave behind. And in Denmark, Queen Margrethe considers what it means for her grandson, for her nation, for her people. But beyond duty, beyond politics, Leonor and Christian remain simply two young people in love. Their story, though wrapped in crowns, is as human as any. A proposal under the stars, a yes whispered in private, a moment that belonged only to them before it became a headline. The engagement also raises questions about the future. Where will they live? Will Leonor remain in Spain as queen while Christian rules Denmark? Will their children inherit dual destinies, or be forced to choose one crown over the other? History reminds us of monarchs whose marriages shifted the fate of continents. Now, in the modern era, Leonor and Christian stand at that same crossroads. As the announcement echoes across Europe, the curiosity only grows. What will their wedding look like? Will it be in Madrid or Copenhagen? Will Leonor wear the Spanish royal jewels or Denmark's? Will the guest list unite Europe's monarchies in celebration, or reveal divisions beneath the surface? The trailer of their future is already playing in the minds of millions. A cathedral filled with light. Flags of Spain and Denmark fluttering side by side. Bells tolling as Leonor, radiant, walks the aisle not just as a princess, but as a future queen who chose love. Christian waiting, not as a prince bound by protocol, but as a man who dared to ask for her hand. But beneath the glamour, reality lingers. Their marriage could test constitutions, challenge traditions, and redefine monarchy in the 21st century. Supporters will call it the ultimate alliance of modern royals. Opponents may see it as reckless, a distraction from the duties both are sworn to uphold. And yet, perhaps that is the very point. Leonor's choice is not reckless, it is revolutionary. For centuries, royals married for strategy. Alliances of convenience, unions of power. But Leonor, like her generation, is rewriting the script. She is marrying not for politics, but for love. And in doing so, she may redefine what it means to be a monarch in our time. The pacing slows. We see her at the press conference, her words steady, her expression calm but glowing. Yes, she says, I am engaged. And I am deeply happy. With those words, she bridges two worlds, the world of tradition, and the world of choice. Crowds gather outside palaces. Some cheer, some whisper doubts. But all know they are witnessing history. For Spain, for Denmark, for monarchy itself, this engagement is not just a private moment. It is a turning point. The script closes on a note of intimacy. Leonor and Christian, walking quietly through gardens away from cameras, their hands intertwined. Around them, history stirs. Ahead of them, questions loom. But in that moment, there is only love. A love strong enough to shake tradition, to challenge expectation, to make the impossible possible. And so, the story begins. Not just of an engagement. Not just of a wedding. But of a future queen who dared to choose her own destiny, and a prince who dared to share it with her. Unbelievable, yes. But also undeniable.